I'm in Home Depot with Marty. Marty, sit. Sit, good boy. I'm looking at these barbecue pits. I'm not getting one now, but I need one. My Weber kettle's just a joke. See, like $179 for that thing. That's good. I don't know. Not doing it today. You gotta, Then I'll do it. I'll get one soon, someday. One day I'll get a new barbecue pit. Mine's 25 years old and broken. Maybe 30. I don't know how old it is. I would like to say that I feel like 100% better. I don't. I still have this flu migraine. But I can't just sit around. I can't. I feel horrible, but if I sit around, I'll feel worse. The old stripper, nothing. An ex-stripper it was clear. It was clear. It's probably about my age. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, but strippers get old. She was checking out she's got wasp and hornets, like at this time of the year. Like, what the hell? That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't. It makes no sense. I can't do these glue traps, man. There's no way. I got a bunch of snap traps. I'm just gonna stick with those. They work. I'll deal with it. I have a rat problem, believe it or not. I have a rat problem. I'm in the country, so there's field rats. It's a problem. Rats aren't generally a problem. Maybe in the last 14 years, I've had a rat in my house on 3 separate occasions. Now, a little bit of info. If you have rats, you don't have mice. They will kill the mice. If you have mice, you don't have rats. Usually, you just get, field mice in the winter, maybe some voles. You can take care of those with little snap traps. But the little snap traps will not do anything to the rats. They're too small. So I need to get the big rat snap traps. I'm going to use snap traps, of course. I use the old-fashioned kind. They seem to work just fine. I saw newfangled ones that online that were really expensive. Really expensive, and then you're supposed to just throw them away after you're done. I'm not going to spend all that money on the rat trap and then throw it away, but I will throw them away. I'm not going to clean out the rat trap and reuse it. That's nothing that I want to do. But I don't see that there's those snap traps, those heavy duty ones, the Victors and the what's the other one? Tomcat. Man, those things, if those snap on a rat, they're gonna die really fast. That is a very fast way to do it. I don't like doing it. I don't like killing the rodents, but I can't have a rat in my house, and I know that it's still there. First, I heard it. I thought that I killed them all, which was 3. I had 3 this early winter, and I thought I killed them all, and then Bucket was acting weird, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And the rat had destroyed a piece of art, which pissed me off. And this one seems to be real smart. And I just saw it on the blink camera going up to, a trap that has peanut butter in it, and then running backwards. I'm not getting near that. So it's sort of, this one has figured it out. So one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to they have some kind of pheromone that you can use. Instead of bait, you don't even have to use peanut butter. The pheromone will attract them. So I'll use that in combination with peanut butter and some sunflower seeds, and it's got to go. I can't use what in the world? Oh, turkeys. I can't use rat bait in my house, of course. I mean, there's I have all the animals, so that's not going to happen. That's really not going to happen. I'll tell you something about the new rat baits. They were for a long time. When you were buying rat bait, it was one type of rodenticide, and it was like a mega dose of vitamin D3, and then the rodent will bleed out. It needs oxygen, and it have a tendency to try and go outside and then die outside. But they are using a new form of rat rodenticide, which is a neurotoxin, which fucking freaks the shit out of me. Because the one where they use the mega doses of vitamin D3 that is like an anticoagulant, the rat will bleed out, that takes days to take effect. So that's, I'm not saying it's safe, you know, if you didn't know, I'm not saying it's safe, but the neurotoxin one is really fast acting. So if you get that, you know, you might not be in time. That thing just kicks right in. Vitamin D3 is fat soluble, and it stores up in the animal. Like if you give your animal too many vitamins, you can kill it. Like if you give it too much, like if you gave it calcium with vitamin D3 in it, that's the D3, the correct amount for a human being, not for a dog or a cat. It'd be too much, it'd store up in your dog or cat. It'd be like, you know, eating rodenticide. But the neurotoxin one scares me, man. It scares me. You know, it's not coming on my property. There's no way. There's no way I'm having that. So I have Marty in the back, and I'm gonna take him with me. We have to get some chicken for the dogs, and what else do I need? Some other things. My house is real old, and some of the floor planks are spreading apart. So what I've done is, like, I'll take like a Bowie knife and a hammer, and I'll slice off pieces of wood from like a 2x4, whatever, and then so I have an approximate piece, and then I tap it into the areas that are open. That's another thing, man. That this is an old house. There are obviously areas in my floor that, you know, 40 years ago a rat was, you know, chewing. That's what I heard. See, that you don't hear that with the mouse, but you'll hear that with a rat. Like they'll chew on wood, man. They'll, you know, a mouse will too, but a mouse is so small, you're not gonna really hear it. But the rat, you can hear it. So right away I started, you know, as soon as I noticed I had a rat problem this year, I started plugging up those holes. I don't want to look into my basement. I don't need to look in my basement. They're not coming up from the basement, but that's another thing. Like on the first floor, it's the same thing. Like the not with rats chewing, but the boards are, you know, spreading apart. There's no like on my second floor, there's a not a suspended ceiling, but there's a tin ceiling, and there's like the floor joist and then the floor. So there's all this area that it's like the rat superhighway. Usually it's the mouse superhighway, but there's, you know, they came in. I'm going to tell you something. It's my fault because I was feeding the birds during the winter on my porch. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea because I know my neighbors had some rats, and it just attracted the rats that were over at my neighbor's house. So, needless to say, I'm not feeding the bird. Well, I am feeding the birds, but it's back by the barn. If the rats want to live in the barn, so be it. If the bats want to live in my barn, so be it. Don't come in my house because you cannot live here. That's just how it is. I'm a dandy. I gotta check my oil. Tell you, I never had rats until I moved here. Like in the city, in Brooklyn. No, I never had rats in my place. This is something new. This is sort of unusual. It is. It's unusual. You know, like I said, it's usually mice. I'm looking for like a wood filler, something like that. They had that old time stuff, you know, it had some kind of ketone in it. It would set up real hard. I think that I could scrape that into the crevices that I fill, and it would glue everything in place. But I don't see that product anymore. I don't know if I see rock hard water putty, but that's not gonna do it. I don't want to use that shit anyway. I don't see anything like that. So I came over here because I figured Marty might need to go to the bathroom. And I noticed, like, there's all these telephone poles with these wires. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And there's a chick over there taking a break. And I said, what's up with that? And she says, they grow hops. That's how you grow hops. Like, they grow all the way up to the top like that. I had no freaking idea. I had no idea. Look at that. I would have never thought. I figured they were growing something, but I had no idea that it was for hops. That's fucking weird. It's a whole field of this. I had no idea that hops grew like that. Hops grow that fast, like during the summer, man. That seems like something that could be used for, I don't know, cover my barn on one side or something. I don't have any purpose for hops, though. I don't know what I'd do with hops. I don't make beer or anything. I don't, no purpose for it. So I'm not going to grow it, of course, but I had no idea. I figured hops was a small bush. I had no idea. Marty, you're doing real good, but get a heel, brother. Heel. Sit. Marty, down. No, Marty, down. That's a good boy. Heel. Let's see if I drop my keys, if Marty will pick them up for me. He might. He's been doing it lately. He did it the other day. There's the keys. Marty, hold. Marty, hold. You are fucking all right, dude. Heel. Hold. Drop. Oh, man, we almost had it. That was close, so let's try it again and see if we'll pick him up. He just did this the other night, so this is all new to him. Marty, heel. Marty, sit. Marty, hold. Hold. You got it, dude. Hold. 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 Drop. You're all right, man. You are a good boy. Little filthy pig picked him up. He needs a bath. We don't really give a shit. We'll give him a bath. Maybe tomorrow. I'm more interested in Marty picking up the keys. Marty is not just good looking, are you, Marty? He's not. He's awesome. I gotta go to Wegmans. Let's see if Marty will pick up the keys in Wegmans. It's pretty good. I guarantee you within a week he'll be like retrieving them real fast. That's how Bowser's doing it now. Bowser's like he's running for him. He's running for him. He's grabbing it, spinning back into heel. I bought the rat bait gel or whatever. It's a pheromone, evidently, that attracts rats. On the package it said it works better than cheese, but cheese doesn't work so good, so that doesn't really impress me. But I will give it a shot. I'll do it in conjunction with the peanut butter. The thing's running all over. I'm watching it run all over, man. If it, is wise to the peanut butter, which I don't think it is, because it was licking the peanut butter off of one of them, and it just didn't snap the trap. But I want it gone. It's not a chipmunk. If it was a chipmunk, I'd trap it and I'd release it. I know it sounds horrible. I'm a speciesist. It's like, I don't want the rat, but I would be fine with the chipmunk, it's sort of screwed up because they're both rodents, They're, what's a chipmunk? A cute rat? A real cute rat. An adorable rat. Where I don't find rats adorable. I didn't want it coming in my the room that I'm sleeping in, I'll tell you that. I took foam real quick, and like any cracks in the floor, I don't want a rat running over me. When they're sleeping with Remy and a rat would crawl across me. Now that happened with a mouse. Bucket was chasing a mouse. My cat was chasing a mouse, and the mouse ran over me. I was laying on this futon on the floor, and it just ran over me. It sort of flipped me out a little bit. Not really. I'm not, it's an animal, who cares? But I'm like, I don't want it in my bed, Tell you what would help is like if my bed was off the floor, which I have a frame, which I'm taking out of the barn, that, you know, somebody put it in my, drug it up there, it looks usable. Somebody put it in my barn, it looks usable, and I think that somebody is either the dog man or somebody that's playing a prank on me. I can only think of one YouTuber that would be able to pull this off, but I can't believe that he would go to this extent, like to like, you'll see. It's the dog man's area, his nest. That's what the bed I'm talking about. There's like a, it looks like a whole bed. It's just not put together right. Like the dog man was kicked in the head by a mule or something. I don't think that, you know, you're talking about an animal that's half dog, half human or something. Something like that. They're clearly not, you know, able to, well, they're not functioning as a human, clearly. But I'm thinking about taking the bed that's in there, the pieces of the bed, and putting it together. I don't know. You know, at work, it'd get me off the floor. I could order a bed. I could go to a thrift store and go get a bed frame right now. I mean, how much is that? $20? That's it. You know, it's nothing. I don't know why I'm like. It's been. I have a bed in Brooklyn, and that's all I have. Well, I have a couch that is not used, and then I got rid of the couch that I have here because of a something that an art school teacher once said, and this guy said, get rid of your couches in your studios because you'll find yourself like laying down, sleeping, sitting down. If you're sitting or sleeping, you're not getting anything done. And I can really relate to this. I got a real issue with production, and a lot of artists are like me. We know we're only here for a certain amount of time. So we're limited on how much we can produce. So if you're sitting, you're sleeping, you're not producing. I have to work, so I got rid of the couch. I was sleeping on that a lot of times. I'd sleep on that like downstairs. The couch was on the first floor. Then I got rid of that, and then I'm like, I have a table bed, which is great. That is actually very comfortable. And that's up off the floor. That's on the first floor. And then I'm sort of making a smaller table bed, which would be more like a fainting couch, like a short bed. And you know, that one I'm going to put downstairs too. I'll probably use it as a table. If I want to crash, I'll just, you know, lay down on the table. It'll be lower than the table bed that I have now. The table bed that I have now essentially is a 7-foot long farm table that I built, and a lot of times I'll crash on that. I don't want to, you know, the first floor, no way. Too much dust, too much pet dander and everything. I got to be up, you know. So that's one of the advantages to the table bed, and a rat's not gonna, you know, run over you as easy. It could climb up the table and run over me, but I have a feeling with the rat pheromone gel, the baiting gel, I'm gonna get that rat. It's wandering around in the middle of the day, so it's hungry. I disturbed it because I started cutting up sections of floor, like little sections, and pull them up so that, you know, I can put a trap down there. So if I ever have this problem again, I'm leaving these sections of floor, and I'll just put baited traps down there. Nobody can get into it. None of the birds can get it. It's underneath the floor. So I might have disturbed the rodent when I was doing that, because I usually wasn't hearing him until about 7 o'clock at night, or her. Generally, I think rats are nocturnal. That's what I think, so I don't really know why it's up during the day. I'm sure it doesn't have rabies. Rats aren't a rabies vector. Yay. You know, if they were, I'd be flipped out. If it was a bat in my house, seriously, if there were bats in my house again, which I had that, it's a fucking nightmare. That was when I was never up here, so they came in and, like, we're coming in the spring, and then is it the little brown bats? the North American little brown bats, those things, like, that's what they do. They'll like come into your attic, or in this case, they were living by my, like next to my wall and my chimney, I think. That's where they were. And it was flipping me right the fuck out. A couple times. I started talking about this. I got issues with bats. It's the only animal. It's like my kryptonite. I can handle any animal. It's the truth. Like, oh, there's a possum. Oh, here, let me get it for you. Like that. Like, really, nothing really bothers me. Like I said, like the rat, I don't really want it running over me, but I wouldn't be like flipped out. If a bat was on me, I would be going to the emergency room and telling them. And that's like something that if you read what the CDC says about bats, if you touch a bat, they're going to want to treat you. They are going to want to treat you. That's a fact. There's even a thing in the CDC report about bats that says, like, if a bat is found in a room with like an incapacitated person's passed out because they're drunk, a person that has some kind of illness that is not coherent, or an infant, a child, anything like that, any type mentally challenged person, they treat the person. That's their recommendation on the CDC website. It's like, because rabies is deadly, so it's better to get the person started. On the. I know it's not how they used to give you shots in your abdomen or something like of the antibiotic. Now it's not. It's not like that. But still, you don't want to have to deal with that. They're disgusting. I don't want to. What are you going to tell me about bats and how many mosquitoes they kill? I don't give a fucking shit. It's a fucking bat. It's a bat. It's a fucking freak. It's like a chihuahua, a little tiny chihuahua with wings. I'm sorry, it's just too weird. And if you want to talk about weird animals, let's talk about the platypus. No problem. If I was in New Zealand or Australia, wherever the platypus is, and I had a platypus like in my pond in the backyard, yeah, let me go out and feed him. Let me go feed the wildlife. One thing that I recommend nobody does, I'd be out there like, oh look, it's a platypus. It's the freak of the world. The platypus. It lays an egg. I'd be going and getting crawdads and snails and shit. I'd be fine with it. Even though I think that it has a venom somewhere on it. It's got some kind of hook somewhere. It's got some kind of venom. I know that. But as long as you don't hit the spur or the hook, or I don't even know where it's at. I could be wrong. I'm sick. This could just be like something I'm making up because I'm running a fever and I'm delusional. But the platypus, I think, has some kind of venom to it. But it's not an aggressive animal. It's adorable. It doesn't have rabies. It's in Australia. New Zealand and Australia do not have rabies. That's why they're so, where you can't bring an animal into Australia. You're not going to bring it in. You can get an animal out, but you can't bring it in there because they don't want our stinking rabies that we have. Rabies is in Europe. It's in the UK. It's all across Europe. I believe it's in Asia, South America, Africa, United States, of course, Mexico, Canada. It's nasty. It's deadly. It will fuck you up. Matter of fact, I read something not too long ago that there's only been one case of a person getting rabies and living, and they lived, and they're not really sure how, but they were so screwed up afterwards. It really will mess you up. I'm at America's favorite food market, Wegmans. I have Marty with me. I got to go in and get chicken for the dogs, and maybe if I see something that sounds good, I'll get it for myself. I got Afrin. I think that might help. I'll try that. Right? I mean, my nose is pretty screwed up. I definitely don't want to take any more NyQuil. That stuff puts me in a horrible mood. I got to deal with dogs, man. I can't be in a horrible mood. For Tonka, yes, I can be in a horrible mood, but man, I really need to glue it on for the clients. I gotta get stuff done. I'll tell you something, little Marty minds his own business, which is great, because he didn't before he met me. He was in anybody's shit he didn't like, you know. Oh, I don't like you. I'm gonna go bite your ankle, you know, like that. But I'm walking him around in public. I was getting some matzo crackers and I saw the whitefish and pike. It's right next to the gefilte fish. I have to try it. I think I might have had it when I was a kid. I had a lot of friends that were Jewish. I'm not. My family wasn't Jewish, but I grew up in Clayton, Missouri, so I'm not against trying it. And I think I did already try it. I was doing reverse retrieves with Marty and Jules and even Bowser, and I was using a colander, and I sent the colander home with Jules, and then I was using this box, and Marty wants to sit in the box, so I don't want to use that. I'm looking for another cheap plastic colander. I don't see anything like that. I'll stop at the dollar store. They'd have something like that. Marty looks cute sitting in the box, but you know, that wasn't what I was telling him to do. Oh, you know why we're here? Let's see if he'll pick up the keys. You know, we're in the... Oh, here's a calendar for $10. That's not what I want. Let's see if he'll pick up the keys, though. All right, hold. You got it. Yeah, there you go, dude. Okay, hang on. Marty just picked up keys in Wegmans, and it seems like he's really into it. So I'm gonna have him do it one more time. He's doing it real fast. Sit. Hang on, dude. Sit. Okay, Marty, hold. You got it, dude. You got it. Hold. No, you got it. Pick it up. Hold. Hold. You got it, dude. That's good, dude. Hang on. Try one more time. Come here. You can do this. Hang on, Marty. Hold. Oh, you got it now. Hold. Yes. Do it one more time. I know you got it. Okay. Sit. No, Marty, sit. Marty, hold. Yes. Give me one more, buddy. Hang on. Marty, here, heel. No, heel. Sit. Marty, hold. Oh, you got this now, don't you? Marty, hold. Yes, you pick it up. Yeah, do it one more time, brother. Marty, hold. No. Marty, hold. Yes.